The Salutatorian for this year has been a student in Bushland schools for 9 years. He has been active in band where he has been named All-State for 3 years playing the trombone. He has received a gold medal for the last 2 years in Texas State Solo and Ensemble and has qualified to compete again this year. He was a member of the State Marching Band in 2013. He is principal trombone of the Amarillo Youth Symphony and member of the Amarillo College Community Wind Ensemble. He is being recognized tonight as an 8th semester superintendent scholar. He is a member of the National Honor Society and has competed in UIL academics where he has qualified for regional in accounting, computer application, computer science, calculator, and mathematics. He advanced to state in computer application in 2015. He served as basketball manager where he was named to the academic all-state elite team this year. He plans on attending Brigham Young University and majoring in electrical engineering. Our salutatorian for the class of 2016 carries a GPA of 4.6023. He is the son of Brian and Gail Humpherys. Ladies and gentlemen, our salutatorian, McKay Humpherys.
Time ago, in a galaxy far, far away. Oh wait, wrong story. Let's see. This book is largely concerned with hobbits. From its pages, the reader may discover much of their character and a little of their history. Oops, wrong story again. Let me try one more time. Chapter 1, The Boy Who Lived. Mr. and Mrs. Dursley of number 4 Privet Drive were proud to say that they were perfectly normal. Thank you very much. Oh, sorry, wrong again. Our story begins not so long ago. About 4 years or so, in a small community not so far away called Bushland, Texas. It's largely concerned with young people, often called teenagers. And from the pages of their story, much of their character and history is discovered. We find that while they might be proud to say they are perfectly normal, others might tend to disagree. When people think back about the class of 2016, what story will come to mind? Will they remember the district titles, regional championships, and the state qualifiers? Will they think of the sporting events and pep rallies, theater productions, stock shows, or band concerts? 10 years down the road, will anyone remember who was all-district volleyball team or who made the all-region choir? Will they think instead of the young people who grew into responsible adults, future nurses, welders, engineers, farmers, business owners, successful members of society? Will they see the habits, character, the everyday action that define our individual natures? During our year at Bushland High School, we've learned many different things. We've learned how to write a 5-paragraph essay, find the volume of a pyramid, and calculate the molar mass of hydrogen. We've learned about reflexive and conjugating verbs, that cows and heifers are different, and that F flat and E natural are the same. We've also learned things that go beyond the textbooks and assignments, things that help us successfully write our own stories. So for the class of 2016, with the help of some of my fictional friends, I'd like to suggest 16 lessons from high school we can take with us into our futures. Lesson number 1, respect goes a long way. To quote a wise professor named Albus Dumbledore, it matters not what someone is born, but who they grow to be. During high school, we don't have much choice about who our teachers are or which coach was assigned to our particular sport. We couldn't choose which students were in our classes, and often these classmates were significantly different from us. And we learned that even if we weren't happy about a particular classmate or teacher or coach, we still had to show them respect. We learned how to respect others, especially when they're different from us, so lessons will serve us well in our future workplaces. Lesson number 2, let the little things go. Sometimes we let the littlest things bother us. Maybe your teacher misplaced the assignment you turned in, or the referee made a bad call. Maybe your friends forgot to invite you to the weekend movie, or your name was misspelled in the program. If you dwell on events like this, it can start to consume you. Remember the scene in Star Wars where Chewbacca gets upset over losing a chess piece to R2-D2, and C-3PO advises him to let the Wookiee win. Even if we were unfairly wronged, think about the long-term significance. Sometimes just letting it go, and letting the Wookiee win, so to speak, is the smartest option and actually makes this happen. Lesson number 3, what's on the inside counts. High school is full of judgment. People judge you for the way you look, the clothes you wear, the grades you receive, and the car you drive. But remember, as Obi-Wan tells Luke Skywalker, your eyes can deceive you, don't trust them. We should give people the benefit of the doubt and look past the outer shell to the person who lies underneath. As Yoda says, size matters not. Look at me. Judge me by my size, do you? For my ally is the Force, and a powerful ally it is. Lesson number 4, have confidence in yourself. When people learn that we're from a small rural community, they might tell us that we probably won't get very far in life. We can't achieve our dreams because we're not from Dallas, Los Angeles, or New York City, and all the opportunities those big cities offer. They might even tell us that the possibility of successfully navigating the asteroid field is something like 3,720 to 1. Feel free to quote Han Solo, "Never tell me the odds." We can accomplish anything we set our minds to when we have confidence in ourselves. Be bold. Do or do not. There is no try. Lesson number 5. Procrastination can sneak up on you. I'm sure that most of us have experienced the bubonic plague of high school, procrastination. You think you have plenty of time to write that essay and finish that assignment, and before you know it, it's approaching midnight the night before it's due. Many teachers pronounced that no late work would be accepted, and yet many late paper has still been turned in. However, life doesn't always allow for late papers, so start early and finish on time. Remember the wise words of our hobbit friend Samwise Gamgee. It's the job that never started that takes the longest to finish. Lesson number 6. Don't be afraid of taking a risk. Most of us have had to take some kind of risk during high school. To try out for the varsity team, audition for show choir, or enter a competition. Facing our fears and putting ourselves out there is hard. It's scary. We know that fear is the path to the dark side. So we push forward through the fear and accomplish great things. Lesson number 7. Bonds of friendship can last a lifetime. We've all made friendships, and formed bonds over these past 4 years. We need to remember to cherish these relationships because there's nothing like them. Good friends can make all the difference. Let us listen to Hermione because books and cleverness, they're more important things, friendship and bravery. Keep in touch with all the people you've met and preserve those bonds. Lesson number 8. Don't get caught up in the fads. It seems as though the nature of teenagers is to want to do whatever their friends are doing. You remember Agario, the Rubik's Cube, 2048, and even this Flappy Bird. Don't get caught up in the fads surrounding you because they're usually more important things to focus on. As Admiral Akbar says, it's a trap. Lesson number 9. Be humble enough to start at the bottom. 4 years ago, we came to fish camp. We were excited to be freshmen, but we were still a little fish at the bottom of the food chain. Now we've moved up to sit upon the throne of the jungle. Can you hear Han Solo speaking to you? That's great, kid. Don't get cocky. We're about to enter an infinitely bigger pool with much bigger fish. We might find ourselves at the bottom again, but if we stay sufficiently humble, we can work our way back up. Lesson number 10. Listen to your parents. It seems common for teenagers to turn their biggest allies into the worst enemies. Parents often seem like the cause of all our suffering. They have our best interests in mind and want us to succeed. You don't want to hear your parents tell you, "I find your lack of faith disturbing." We should trust in our parents and listen to their counsel. Lesson number 11. Humor goes a long way in stressful situations. High school could be stressful at times, and life will probably only get more stressful. Keep your sense of humor. Looking back, biology freshman year was one of the most stress-free classes I had. Coach Pilot always had some sarcastic or humorous remark to lighten the mood. Han Solo does the same thing upon finding the group trapped in a trash compactor. He says, "One thing's for sure, we're all going to be a lot thinner." It's amazing how much difference a smile or laughter can make. Lesson number 12. Walk in someone else's shoes. There have been many angry friends and misunderstood situations throughout high school. However, in hindsight, we often find that the things in the moment that aggravated and infuriated us were often very silly. Let's remember that, as Obi-Wan said, we will find that many of the truths we cling to depend greatly on our own point of view. Remember, there are two sides to every story. Try to look from someone else's viewpoint and analyze the situation from all angles. Lesson number 13. Failing is only a step in forward progress. We've all experienced it at least once. That grade that comes back to our expectation. Whether we just didn't listen or simply had a harder time with the concept, sometimes in order to understand, we must first fail. That failure can ignite desire to get better and to not fail again. As Obi-Wan says, "If you strike me down, I shall become more powerful than you can possibly imagine." Don't let failure stop you. It's simply the first step towards succeeding. Lesson number 14. Change is unavoidable. The world we live in today is constantly changing. People change, laws change, technology change. We must learn to adapt. Make a new friend, learn the new software, and if you find yourself saying, "These aren't the droids we're looking for," make a change and go a different direction. Lesson number 15. Words are powerful. Even with the recent completion of Bye-Bye Boot Camp, most of us are not very proficient in hand-to-hand combat. However, we all possess a very powerful weapon. Dumbledore tells us what this weapon is. He says, "Words are, in my not-so-humble opinion, our most inexhaustible source of magic, capable of inflicting injury and remedying it." Many people have felt the influence of words, sometimes negatively through rumors and gossip, and sometimes positively through praise and encouragement. Let's all use this powerful weapon for good. Lesson number 16. Your grades are not the only thing that define you. It seems as though our grades were often the most important thing in high school. However, once we leave this room tonight, no one will really care what your GPA was, except for maybe your college admissions officer. All that really matters is what kind of person we've become. Are we kind, loyal, courageous? We have many choices to make as we go into the world. Dumbledore tells us that we must all face the choice between what is right and what is easy. And it is our choices that show what we truly are, far more than our abilities. Choose to be kind, loyal, and courageous. Choose what is right, not what is necessarily easy. What lessons have you learned from high school? How will you be remembered? I hope that these past 4 years have taught us how to be responsible, respectful citizens. I hope we have learned that we are strong and can accomplish great things. If I could pick one final lesson for us, it would be this quote from J.K. Rowling. We do not need magic to transform our world. We carry all the power we need inside ourselves already. Let's go forth from the hallways of Bushland High School with confidence, write a new story full of hope and amazing things this world has never dreamed of. Live long and prosper.